guys, so it is Christmas coming up soon, and so we thought we'd share with you what we were doing for our kids this year. Yes, we're filming it outside because our kids are inside and we just don't want them to know what we're doing, so that's why we're out here. So last year, backstory to what I'm about to tell you as far as presents, just to build suspense, I guess. We decided last year, we thought, hey guys, let's just for this year do an experiment and just make gifts this year and see how that goes. That way, because we've kind of tried different traditions on and off, the whole 3 gift thing, and then like the whole want, need, read gift thing. Nothing's really ever been like just worked for us. So we're like, let's try making it last year. And so we did that, and it was just so much fun. So this year we were like, hey guys, do you want us to buy you presents this year, or would you rather make gifts again this year? And all of them said they wanted to go ahead and make gifts, and they wanted us to make gifts for them. So that's the route we took. Now we do buy little things like Christmas Eve. We'll get them PJs and a movie, undergarment things, and
yeah, we buy them underwear and socks every year.
Hot cocoa, and
we'll buy hot cocoa, and we'll sit and watch a movie and have the fire going if it's cold enough, and we'll all sit around and watch our Christmas movie.
Whatever that is. So
whatever that is that year.
Yeah, but this year last year we made gifts, and it was just so sweet and so fun watching the kids like kind of pick and choose. And then this year they've kind of been working on more craft skills, and so we've kind of upped the expectations of some of them and what they're who drew whose names and stuff, like our older kids. So our kids will draw each other's names because there's 5 of them, and so obviously the one that got Isley, our baby, gets an extra gift from us. But so this year what we did, and I don't think we have them all figured out yet.
I don't think we have them all done.
No.
I also want to note to that point real quick that we are not against giving gifts to our kids. We are not against Christmas morning. We're not against Santa Claus. We're not against Christmas trees. We're not against any of that stuff. This isn't a matter of us thinking that those things are wrong and we're trying to find a better way. It has nothing to do with that. We just
we're trying to find our own traditions that work for us, and so
give us something different and unique. That's just our kids are going to be weird anyways because they have us as parents, and they are going to grow up homeschooled. There's 5 of them. All of those things are working against them, so we figured we'll screw them up more.
What's one more thing?
And make them make each other presents for Christmas.
But it's just so sweet because our son, our 8-year-old, our baby drew him. So she's 1, and he's just like, Mom, I know she can't make anything, but that's okay. If all she did was give me a hug for Christmas, that would be like the best present ever. And it was just like, oh, and I don't know what she's making him now that I said. Oh, I do remember. Yeah.
Okay, good. We figured it out.
Yeah, I'm gonna have her put together like a science kit thing.
Oh yes.
With all experiments and all the ingredients and stuff in it. But anyway, it's just so sweet getting to watch it. And like last year, I remember he was 2 then, picked our
5-year-old.
He was 4 at the time. So the 2-year-old drew the 4-year-old's name, and immediately he was like, Mom, I'm making him a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And we were like, okay, buddy. And he's like, he loves peanut butter and jelly. So we're like, all right. And so we woke up Christmas morning, and him and I made some bread, and then he made the PB&J, as best as a 2-year-old can at the time, and put it together, and we wrapped it and stuck it under the tree. And then our 4-year-old opened it, and he's just like, this is amazing. And like ate it, and he was pretty stoked. So it's just been really fun, and we found it kind of makes us personally just quite a bit more intentional with our gift giving, because they and us kind of have to think like, well, what am I good at doing? Because we don't want to not give our kids quality stuff even though we're making it. So we kind of have to weigh out what we're good at doing and what they need or want, or something like that. So we'll kind of go through what our kids decided to make each other this year. And again, they only draw one name, so that's who they're making it for. So our 10-year-old drew our 5-year-old's name. Give me a minute to think about all this. Our 10-year-old drew our 5-year-old's name, and she has been learning to bake this year and does an incredible job of it. And I love having her practice. But she thought
that could be some of this.
She's gonna go ahead and bake him like 24 snickerdoodle cookies that are all his, and I think he's gonna love it. So, and then I gotta remember their ages. 8-year-old picked our 3-year-old this year, and he decided to make him a fishing pole. He did want to make him a real fishing pole, but we don't know how to do that. So he's making it out of wood and like the whole dowel with the eyelets, and like he's figuring out how to do the whole thing.
Spinner reel.
And I mean, it's just, he's having a blast with it. So that's what he's doing. And then our 5-year-old picked our 1-year-old. And so he's actually making, and James is helping too, but he wanted to make something for her to chew on, and he wanted her to be able to hold it and carry it, but also not lose it too. So they actually kind of cut out a ring. It's just a ring that he's gonna sand down, and they're gonna coat it with, something she can chew on, mineral oil. And then he also learned how to finger knit this year, and so he made her a little chain thing. Did I show you that?
No.
Anyway, made her a little chain thing that we're going to end up with some yarn, like really thick, bulky yarn. We're going to hook it on there, and then probably buy one of those little clips that you put pacifiers on or whatever, so that she doesn't lose it. So that's what he made her this year. And then our 3-year-old drew our 10-year-old her name, and so he had several different ideas, but we finally landed on a hacky sack. Because it's something we already made it, I guess, but he helped fill it up and, kind of helped sew it and all that stuff. So that's what he made her. And then our 1-year-old drew our 8-year-old's name. And so, like I said, we're putting together like a little science kit where he'll have all the experiments and all the ingredients to it and all that stuff. He asked for a chemistry set for his birthday with real chemicals, but we're not there yet.
we just built the house. We don't need it burnt down in the first year because of a chemistry kit.
But anyway, so he's getting that, a homemade one with safe ingredients. So that's what they're doing. And then we decided, so we each make our own gift, and sometimes those gifts kind of correlate. Like last year, James made the 2 younger boys like wooden pirate swords, and then I made him a sheath. Is that right? Quiver. I guess that's for arrows, but a sheath for him, and did that. And then
I made throwing. So I took the
that's right,
Batman shape, and I printed it out, and I took it and put it on little pieces of plywood, like Luan, real thin plywood, and I put it on there and cut it out with my scroll saw and made throwing knives so they could be like Batman and
like
Spider-Man.
What Batman uses is
throws, yeah.
If you watch
that. And so then on each one of their, they each have like kind of a staff going around on their sheath. And in the middle of that, I've got a Batman emblem and a Spider-Man emblem that I cut out on my scroll saw that goes in the middle, so they could keep them separate and know who's who.
So I guess we're covering last year's too, which is fine. Bear with us. So then for our 8-year-old last year, he wanted a pocket knife so bad. So James actually bought him a pocket knife because you should have made one, but it's fine.
I didn't have enough time to whittle all that steel.
Anyway, so he got that, and then I made him a little leather case that clips on your belt and stuff like that. And he wears that thing every day and has yet to lose it permanently. So
Well, it was a
I'm
learning.
pretty proud of him.
You know, yeah, he was 8 years old, and we said, "Listen, dude, you cannot leave this thing around. You've
7
got."
last
He was
year,
7,
yeah.
yeah. You've got little brothers that are going to find this, and it's a knife. It's a real, it's the real small Swiss Army knife, but it's a real knife. And we said, you can't just leave this laying around. And if we find it, it will become ours, and you'll have to earn it back. And so he did go through that. He had that little bit of growing pain there, at least once. And but it didn't take him long. And I remember one time specifically. So we were getting ready for bed and putting PJs and teeth brush and all that, and our 5-year-old came in and said, "Dad, look what I found." And so he handed me the sheath with the little knife in it, and I said, "Oh man!" So I called in our 8-year-old. He was 8 by this time. I called him in and I said, "I told you if you leave this out where one of your brothers finds it, it's gone." And oh, he got so upset and tears started flowing. I'm like, "Why are you so upset?" And he goes, "Because I didn't. I had it out I had it in my dresser. I had it in my dresser." And so I called his little brother in there and I said, "Where did you get this from?" "I took it out of his dresser." Okay, so he was really trying hard.
Yeah.
He was very upset because he was going to lose it. And so, one of the main things that we really, really like about this is like she said a minute ago, we have to be very, very intentional. And we're not so particular on all of the finite details that we get stuck on something like, well, we can't think of anything to make him, or something like that. I mean, I knew in October I was buying him a knife, regardless. And so don't take this as us telling you that this is the only way to do it, or we're this or that because this is how we do it. This is just what we chose, and we just thought we'd share it.
Well, and I think too, talking to other people, it's kind of that I didn't realize you could do that, because I know with us, when we heard of a family that did it, it was kind of one of those like,
it's not a bad idea.
I didn't know that. And
Yeah.
when we talked about it with them last year, it was very like, guys, we're just gonna do an experiment with this and see if we even like it. It's not there was no rules to it, just kind of, it was, but and it seemed to work out. But the joy and the pride that some of them have had in the stuff has been pretty cool. And then our oldest daughter, we ended up, I guess we bought stuff for her. Well, I made her a little basket because she likes to go like foraging, and she didn't have a basket, so I learned how to make baskets.
Well, we bought her a basket weaving kit.
Yeah.
And then that was kind of the deal, was her and Mom got to put it together, and they made it, soaked all the
reeds
and all that stuff, put it all
it was
together.
fun. She still uses it to this day.
Yeah,
So
still has it.
and then James got her like
I got her a weaving loom set,
which honestly she just started using.
Yeah.
This week.
Which is kind of cool because
So.
she actually made a hat for herself.
She's very proud of that thing.
One of the other things that we do, once again, I said that we make our kids weird, and that's okay. We love our kids. We love being weird. But one of the things that we do is we try to teach them each a skill. We want them to learn a skill every year. This is something new we're doing this year. We want them to learn a skill every year. And it doesn't always have to be a different skill. Maybe it's take your skill you have now to another level, but always pursuing a skill. And so this year, our 8-year-old, he decided he wanted to try to whittle. And so I took some firewood and we split it down the middle and made small spoon blanks out of it. And so we have a set of gloves that he can wear that are cut-proof gloves. You can't cut them. And so he wears those, and he uses a few of my carving tools that I have for whittling. And he's carved a spoon. Now it's made by an 8-year-old, but he's doing a really, really good job.
He asked me to lick it today and hadn't even sanded it.
Yeah, I can't.
So.
Wooden spoons.
So.
But anyways, so he's doing that, and so, but our daughter, that was one of the things. She's like, I really want to learn how to do this, and so she sat down on Saturday, and she spent the entire day. She started out about 10 o'clock in the morning.
Sunday, yeah.
I guess it was Sunday.
yesterday, yeah.
She spent the entire morning sitting there, almost until dinner, actually, and doing the weaving loom, and made herself a hat.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks really cool. It's all different colors, and it just fits her personality so good.
Yeah.
And it's exactly her, and it's exactly what she wants, and she did a
She's
fantastic
been wearing
job.
it all day,
Yeah,
even
as-
inside, and it's
yeah.
adorable.
She even
I love
showered
it.
with it on this morning.
Yeah.
It was really
The soggy hat. Anyway, But yeah, she loves it. And to get on to what we're making this year for
Yeah.
the kids. So our 1-year-old, I don't know if you're making anything. Actually,
I made her dadgummit. I'm not making her nothing else.
you did.
I played a small role.
Tiny.
Tiny little role.
Okay. Anyway, I mean she's 1, guys. This is our 5th kid. She doesn't play with anything except, the stuff that's on the floor. So,
I could get her a biscuit crumb. She'd be happy.
Yeah. The other kids' is toys and stuff. But this year I made her all her kids have tie blankets that their aunt made them, and they just all absolutely love them. So I'm like, oh, she needs one, so I'm gonna try it. So anyway, me and my oldest daughter ended up making it for her, and so that's what she's getting this year. It's huge, so I don't know if she's gonna use it, but
It's only a king size. She'll grow into it.
It's like a twin, but she's like this big. I don't know. Anyway, so that's why I made her, and then the 2 next boys are 3 and 5, and so and it's real simple with them this year. I'm crocheting them a hat and probably mittens, because honestly, that's what they keep talking about. So that's why I chose that, and it'll be in their favorite colors, green and yellow. So that's what I'm doing for them. And then the 8-year-old, what are you making for the 3 and 5-year-old?
Well, how many times have you gotten up in the middle of the night to use the restroom and you take a step on those infamous little squares on the floor and then you squeal like a 3-year-old girl?
I've never.
She's lying. Anyways, Legos are all over our house.
He's making Legos.
I'm gonna make wooden Legos.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. I am making a Lego table. So it is going to be a table that we have bought the 1 foot by 1 foot square Lego squares, sheets.
Yeah.
I don't know what you call them, but we're going to glue them down to a tabletop.
So for our 8-year-old, funny story, we decided to try allowance this year for chores, and we're still trying it. But anyway, so we're like, okay, you got paid your first week. We thought, let's go to Target. They can pick something out. And then with kind of give them that, okay, it's first week. Like, this is how money works kind of thing. And so he got like, I don't know, $4 for that week. But he also had some birthday money that he brought with him. And it was probably another $30. And so, of course, he could buy something more substantial. Jinx. And anyway, he picked out this like huge remote control car.
Monster truck.
Yeah, monster truck, and he was like so stoked. And so we get up to the cash register, and our thing was, if you don't have enough money, we're not gonna like pay for it for you. You know what I mean? Kind of learn those things. So anyway, he took this thing, and we got up to the cash register, and we knew he had enough money for it, so we just let him do it. And so he put it on there, and it rang through, and she's like, it'll be however much money. And so he grabbed all his money out of his pocket, and I mean, money's just falling everywhere, and he's counting it out, and he doesn't have this $20 bill. And he's like freaking out, and it's nowhere. And it was kind of, we're parents, we don't know what we're doing, but we wanted to set this precedence of, you need to have your money and be responsible. So he didn't have it, so it was kind of one of those, all right, bud, you got to put it back. Like, you lost your $20 bill. And
the lady at the register is like, you are sucky parents.
and we don't know where we're doing. Anyway, so he had to put it back, and he was just like devastated. And I guess he wasn't like super devastated, but he was pretty upset. And so we're like, man, I hope you can find this thing, because he got into the van with this $20 bill and didn't know where it was. So we opened the van door, and it was like the door opened,
laying on the threshold.
Yeah, it was like on this ledge, and he was so stoked. I'm like, we're not going back in, and like, you lost it. And so he took it, and to this day he hoards his money pretty tightly, and keeps track of it. But long story, to the point, I'm making him a leather wallet so he can actually carry his money with him whenever we go do that type of stuff. So
For our 8-year-old, he is really big into everything outdoors, and everything that his dad does, he wants to do. And so every year, me and him and a friend of mine from Kansas City go on a little trip called Mancation. And this last year we went to a trout hatchery, and that's kind of nearby our house, and we pulled the camper down and we stayed for 2 nights and 3 days, and we did nothing but fish and ate steak and good foods and stuff like that. And it was man time, you know. He was a man, you know, or whatever, and so it was kind of funny. But we fished for trout, and we would fish this one area, and there was all of these lures and hooks and weights laying around from people, because this is a very, very heavily trafficked fish hatchery in southern Missouri. And so there was all kinds of you know, bait and lines and lures and all kinds of stuff laying around that people would just leave. And so he inevitably spent a large part of his time looking for hidden gems, as he would call them. These I had an old little small tackle box that you'd hang from a set of waders or something like that, for when you fly fish. And so he really liked that toolbox or a tackle box, so I emptied it out and I gave it to him, and he started keeping all of his tackle in it. I'm making him a fly fishing tackle box. It'll be kind of small, and it'll be hand carved, which will kind of be fun. So, but it'll just open up, it'll just open and just be a simple box that'll have a little piece of foam stuck inside that he can hook a few hooks on, and be something kind of fun, small. He can put other little trinkets in it too. It doesn't have to be flies, but whatever he wants to put in it, it'll just kind of be fun to do. But anyway, so I'm making that for him.
yeah. And so our 10-year-old, she got her ears pierced for her birthday this year. She's been asking, I don't know, forever, but I thought, well, she's 10, she can make that decision now, and she did. Anyway, so most of the time I wear like little dangly earrings, and she just loves them. So I am making her a bunch of little unicorn themed, you know, that type of stuff, dangly earrings this year. So.
And along that same note, like she said earlier, some of our presents go together. And so I am making a frame, probably about 1 foot by 1 foot frame, and then it will have hardware cloth that will be stapled across it, pulled taut, and so it'll hang on the wall like a picture frame, and then you'll be able to hang your earrings and stuff like that on the hardware cloth.
So guys, that's what we're doing this year. It might change again. We will let the kids vote next year again, and we'll just let them vote and go with majority and not cheat. So
guys, just like and subscribe this video if you don't care. That little thumbs up really helps get our videos out there to more people. And if you don't care, send us to somebody that you know that's crazy just like us, that may live a similar lifestyle, and you think they're nuts, but these people are nuts too. Send it to them. Maybe they'll like to watch it. You know, share our videos if you don't care. All those wonderful things. Guys, like we always say, live a good journey.
see ya.